and welcome to this Progressive Bitesize webinar. Today we are going to see how you can effectively track asset non-conformities using asset management and mobile technology. I'm Laurent Graziano, and I've been an EAM evangelist since 1998. I have been part of the Progressive Technology Solutions Limited since 2014, where we are focusing on energy and asset-intensive industries. During all those years, about 23 years of experience, I've witnessed the transitions from a simple maintenance management, early days, to what we call now asset performance management. And today's presentation will take an example of a specific industry in energy, in renewables and wind farms, and we're going to use Infor EAM Cloud Edition solution, added with the functionalities of its EAM mobile for technical work and Infor operating services for managing workflow tasks. So there are a few challenges we'll try to answer during that presentation. First of all, it's really key to improve technicians' ability to perform all their planned activities, but using mobile devices and make sure that they can do their work on the go. And most importantly, for what interests us today, we want to enable technicians to go beyond those activities they've been assigned to and identify non-conformities while they're doing their day-to-day operations. And we want to make sure that everything they do and every work they perform is done following the safety procedures. So, what is a non-conformity? An EAM tool will usually relate to the equipment that needs repair and preventive maintenance, and everything will be handled through work orders. But what if you need to capture an anomaly that does not relate to any work that has been planned or doesn't need any immediate fix? Well, even those anomalies might not need to be repaired straight away. You might want to still track them over time and see how they develop. So using Infor EAM Mobile, we'll see that technicians will be able to declare their non-conformities they are observing while they are walking around those facilities, while they're doing their day-to-day job and performing the task they've been assigned to. And the example we're going to take is two different processes we would like to cover. First of all, we will take the role of a maintenance technicians doing an operation and performing a work they've been assigned to, and they will declare a non-conformity while they're doing their work through the mobile device. Then that non-conformity observation will be analyzed by a maintenance planner, and they will submit that non-conformity for further approval to the department head. That department head will approve that non-conformity observation using his mobile phone, and we'll see that once a non-conformity observation has been approved, then a work would be assigned to a technician and they will be able to perform work to address a non-conformity. And we make sure that they do that particular piece of work in a safety manner and perform all the work and provide all the feedback they need to provide on the work order. So let's go to the first step we want to do, where they need to perform a non-conformity. So, first of all, using the mobile device, they would be able to see the work they need to do on a daily basis. So, with Infor EAM mobile, they will access the list of work orders that have been assigned to them. And out of those work orders, they need to do some monthly inspection on turbines, so wind turbines, and they need to do some foundation and lifting pad inspection. So opening the work order on their mobile device, they will be able to see the details of the work that have been assigned to them. And looking at the details and the list of activities they need to perform on that particular work order, they'll be able to open what we call the checklist, so the list of activities they need to perform and report. And opening the first activity on the list, they will be able to see what they need to perform for that particular activity. So the first activity for the annual foundation lifting pad inspection is to make sure that the controller have been advised on their site arrival. And what are they going to do through the mobile device is perform the feedback by simply clicking yes or no to identify if they've done the work. And then they will carry on doing the work they need to do. And while they're doing the work, they will be able to provide feedback through the mobile device. This is the second one where they need to inspect the lifting pad and do measurements on the pad dimension and make sure they are in conformity with the engineering drawings. And then they will be able to get to the end of performing, that activity. Now, whilst they were doing that particular work, they discovered that something looked wrong on, on some of the surroundings around the assets they were maintaining. They will be able, within the mobile device, to here add a non-conformity. They will raise here a comment to say, I've discovered that something didn't look correct whilst I was doing my work on a particular work order. And they're going to provide some description here about what's happening. And I've discovered some minor cracks on the pavement to access, the turbine and on the north side. So I'm doing that. I'm going to provide additional information such as the priority. Looks like low priority to me, obviously, and a little bit of observation. So even though it looks minor, it could be a sign of early decay. And they were doing their work, the initial tasks that were assigned to them, but they are enriching that with a non-conformity. That non-conformity will then be passed to the maintenance planners that will analyze that and decide what to do with it. So the maintenance planner has received some feedback on the work order that was performed by that technician a little bit earlier. You can see that while we're looking at the checklist results, we can see that the technician has populated the results about advisory of the control, but also a non-conformity has been raised during that particular piece of work. And as a maintenance planner, I will then decide what would be the severity of that and what should I do with that particular observation. And I can decide to go forward with that particular observation, or I can, by requesting approval, I could skip it as well. But in that particular case, I would like my manager to review that particular non-conformity. My manager is a very busy person, by the way, and always on the go, always visiting sites, so doesn't have access to a computer most of the time. So the maintenance manager will access the tasks of the approval he needs to do through his mobile phone. And when I'm opening as a manager the list of my tasks, I can see that there is a non-conformity that have been sent for my review. And I can see that non-conformity observation is about minor cracks on concrete. And if I look at the attachments, I can see that the technician took a picture of that particular non-conformity of the pavement itself. And so out of interest, I'm going to open that particular picture and see with a bit more detail on my telephone what it is about. Obviously, that seems to be a bit more serious than originally thought. So I am going to go forward and accept that non-conformity and approve the observation that will need to be addressed at a later stage with a particular piece of work, or included maybe in a later inspection or refurbishment activity that might be done at a later stage. And I can leave a comment as well. So leaving my comment and making sure that on my action I'm selecting the approval of that particular non-conformity observation, and when my job is done, the task is disappearing. Now, if I look at an example of a non-conformity that has been duly approved, etc., it's been decided for another non-conformity that I would like to transform that into an actual piece of work I'm going to assign to a technician. And that one is a complaint from a person living nearby a wind turbine, and they're complaining about excessive noise that has been observed for the past few days. Very real case scenario in the wind farm industry, as you can imagine. So that observation has been approved, and a work order will be generated and assigned to a technician. The work order has been generated, but to be able to perform that particular piece of work, a permit needs to be issued. You cannot just go there and do your measurements. You need to have a site isolation permit to work. So a permit was issued with that work order, and a permit to work has been issued and approved by the site manager, allowing me to perform my measurements, and I have a window of 48 hours to be able to perform that work. So as a technician, when I'm going to receive that particular piece of work, I will be able to see that it's been fully signed by my management, or may also contractors that may be on site at the same time. Also, what's important is you want to make sure that if you have multiple permits for the same location, they do not conflict. And obviously, verifying the potential conflicting permits to work, I don't find any. The work can be performed by the technician. The technician is now receiving the work to do the noise measurements to confirm if the non-conformity is valid or not. And I've received a work order based on the non-conformity, And on the checklist, I can observe that I have measurements to do. So, and I have to say, is there, a noise above 84 decibels at the gearbox level? Is it above 87 decibels as the generator? And the answer is no, looks fine. And close to the blades, what is the noise? The noise is above 91 decibel, which is the norm. And what I need to do, I need to create a follow-up activity to ask for an urgent maintenance to be done. I'm the technician doing the measurements. Another technician will have to come and maintain those blades because they're definitely, emitting a lot more noises than they should. By doing that, we will then send back the signal to the maintenance planners that a follow-up work needs to be done. So, in summary, the key challenges we have addressed. We've approved the technician's ability to perform all their planned activities by using the mobile device, extremely key. They need to be able to do the work while they are, performing inspection, being on site. And in the energy and industry, and more precisely on the wind farm industry, you're moving from site to site. You need to be able to take your work and take the activities you need to do on the go. But they've also be able to go above and beyond the initial tasks that were assigned to them, and they've identified while they were doing their inspections non-conformities, and they declare them. And while they were performing all the activities, they have been able to perform them in the safest way possible because they followed the safety procedures that were associated with the work orders being assigned to them. Well, thank you very much for your attention. I hope it brings you interesting information about EAM and the mobility and the management of non-conformities that is becoming extremely key in asset performance management. If you would like to contact us at Progressive Technology Solutions Limited, you can use the website progressive-tsl.com or send us an email at info@progressive-tsl.com. Thank you and goodbye.